real easy to make. The thing you just have to watch for is every once in a while, if you put too much soy or too much teriyaki, it gets too salt. So that's when you can nullify that by using a little orange juice. Either concentrate, which I use, which helps thicken up the product. So you can use regular container orange juice, but I find that the concentrate helps to thicken it up so it's nice and thick and sticks to your noodles and all that. Yes.
If you're not using concentrate and using straight, you use like cornstarch, potato, or arrowroot. What do you prefer?
Nothing. I just
Just so
multiply the oil a little longer.
Oh, okay.
So it's just cut down my time. Time is money. So anyway, we're going to start with the orange juice. That's it. Yep. This is sesame oil. Put in here. See, I've found that you can't ruin anything as long as you're using good products. If you use bad products, you can't really fix it. Let's see, that's one of these. That's the soy. Teriyaki is this one. And so forth. But usually it makes a lot. This is the rice wine vinegar.
If you're substituting apple cider as opposed to which directions say you do, are you talking homogenized or
This is apple cider. I use both.
both?
Yeah.
Not apple juice, apple cider.
Apple cider or apple cider vinegar.
Oh, okay. Oh,
Vinegar.
okay.
Who told you?
It says apple cider.
What's what apple cider? That's like my publicist. I add a little garlic.
Are you using? Okay.
That's basically crushed garlic.
Fresh garlic.
Yes. Keep going. Okay. So you can beat that together. Let's get it together.
You didn't say duck sauce?
Not yet.
Not yet.
We put that together, then I add my secret ingredient, duck sauce. It helps thickens it up a little more, and anytime you use any kind of vinegar, I usually put a little sugar, either honey, duck sauce, orange juice is sweet, but this makes it a little thicker, and it has all the flavors. If anybody's getting tired sitting down, Joe's going to lead in the stretching exercise. Ready? Just like you do every morning.
1, 2, 3. Get to the sky, everybody.
Now you can use heated oil, blended oil, olive oil, not too much olive oil. Anytime you use a lot of olive oil, you put it in the refrigerator for the next day, it's one big lump. Then you have to take it out and basically get it back down to room temperature. So if you use the blended oil and the olive oil, it cuts down on that. Okay.
You have a nice behind where you get screen.
Okay. How are the vegetables coming up with that? How you playing?
Same deal.
Same deal. No, that's tight. Joe's going to volunteer to use his keyboard. All right, let me get this open here.
going to tell you a joke, okay? Remember Mort Saul? Anybody?
Yeah.
Mort Saul always tells the story about the Jewish lady who went to buy a chicken. And she went into the butcher shop, and the butcher really liked her. She was one of his best customers. But he only had one chicken. And she said, I want a nice chicken. So he brought the chicken out, he put it on the counter, she poked it with her finger, and he said, it's kind of skinny. He said, that's a nice chicken. She said, I think it's kind of skinny. He said, well, it's one of my best chickens. She said, you got anything else? They took the chicken and went in the back room, he shook it in the water, and he brought it back out, he got threw it on the counter. He spoke to her with the finger, she said, oh good, I'll take both of them. Put them in different bowls. Put them in this bowl?
Yeah, actually, put them all together.
First one and the second one, but there was only one.
What I did was I took it back and added some just regular oil, so you get that nice consistency. You add your the other spices in it, a little crushed red pepper, put scallions in it, to finish off the sauce. Salt, pepper to taste. Meanwhile, I wasn't going to bore you tonight on how to cook pasta. Other than boiling water. Is that what you came for? I'll tell you a secret. I don't put salt in the water, I don't put oil in the water, I just put it in the pot, just cook it and stir it. Make sure it's a rapid boil, you have no problems. Then rinse it under cold water, get all the starch off it. Put a little oil on top of that, and it won't stick together. You're going to take it. See? Cooking's fundamental. You have a good product, and you know what to do with it, you can't mess it up, guys. So anyway, so here's your pasta salad. I added some snow peas. And I'll add some of the dressing.
You said cook the snow peas and...
What I do is blanch it.
And baking soda?
Yeah. What that does, the baking soda, anytime you're doing a green vegetable, just a little. You put a little baking soda in there, and what it does, it keeps it green. If you go to a restaurant, have you ever noticed their broccoli? It's always like, wow, so bright. How'd they get that thing so green? And then you do it at home, and it's like that dull green. And you say like, all right, just put some sauce on that. Put some holiday sauce on that, and it'll be fun. But yeah, the baking soda and the salt just gives a little bit, the salt gives it the flavor, and the baking soda just keeps it green. So if you're doing snow peas, string beans, lima beans, broccoli, asparagus especially, you use a little baking soda. Secret is though, don't use too much. Just a pinch, just enough to get it in the water. If you do it to broccoli or asparagus, because I've done this many times at country clubs and all that, where you're in a hurry, you put it in, you put a little too much in, you go do something else, you leave it in there for maybe 30 seconds too long, and you come out with a ball
What if you steam them, your vegetables?
You can, you steam them. Again, but I like to just blanch them really quick. With the, you can't really. It's like you put that in the water, but I don't really think that'll, it's just when it hits it, it just closes down there, the chlorophyll. Boom. All right. Stir this up. What was that? In the beginning, when you're doing your vegetables, bring your pot to a boil, throw some salt in, a little pinch of baking soda, put it in maybe 30, 40 seconds, and then usually put your vegetables right under cold water in a little ice bath. And that'll just stop the cooking right away. And I would even say, like, if you're doing Thanksgiving dinners or anything like that, do your vegetables the day before. If you're doing broccoli or asparagus, do it the same way, ice bath, and then basically put it in a casserole dish, put some butter or whatever you're going to put on it, cover it up. And most people don't do this, but it does work. You put cellophane on top of your casserole and then foil over top of it. So you get a nice seal, and it'll steam it, get it hotter quicker, and you'll have a moisture product. But you can do it the day before and then put it in. When you're doing asparagus for a large group of people, cut the bottoms off or the tough ends, and you leave the rubber band on. People say, oh, that's weird. Leave it on, cook it for, I believe, 8 minutes, rapidly boil. For 8 minutes, pull it out, put it in an ice bath. Then after it cools off, you can pull it off and lay it in your casserole dish so it's nice and neat. All the ends are going the right way. You don't have to just throw it together, make it look like string beans with a top. So that'll save you a lot of time, and it's like a nicer presentation. You basically rinsing them off. You rinse them off. The rubber band does move. You cut the bottoms off, you rinse them off, and then you're boiling. So they're safe. They're not that. Once you get all the sand off, since we're growing the sand, there's no problem. That usually runs right off. Okay.
And then how do you heat them up the next day?
That's what you put them in your casserole dish or pan, covered with cellophane, tin foil, and just put it in the oven. Say 325 for maybe 25 minutes. See, everybody says that. It works. You just saran wrap, right? No, not. You can put that in the oven as long as you have the foil over top of it. 325, right around there. 325, 350, and you just keep an eye on it. Well, that's why when you pre-cook them, they're already done. They're already in the heat, basically. It's only going to be a couple minutes to reheat it. With the asparagus, you also can just real quick saute them if you want a better flavor. Do that and throw a little Grand Marnier on top of it. Move it up, and then you say, yeah. Yeah, just one side. Just about ready to put our casserole together. But first, we'll finish this salad. I love that.
My wife didn't see it.
No. It's real good with fish, too. You ready? You ready? All you have to do is cut these in half. No, I don't really get into the knives that much. It seems every time you have a good one, so I just make sure I'm sharp every day. I go bad, I just get the right thing and feel like get the Chinese fever a lot of chopping and stuff.
I want you to take a look at it, just in case you think.
Please don't debate it.
That's the eggplant.
Locked in the zero.
This is the eclipse of our show right here.
There's so much going on up here. You don't know what to watch first.
Now, to finish this out here, you can add any vegetables you want. The other nice touch that we do is add mandarin oranges. Now, if you like mandarin oranges, we have a great salad, but we only have it in the spring, in the summer. It's called a California chicken salad. It's made with a poppy seed dressing, mandarin oranges, tomatoes, scallions. It's really good. Well, then we won't have anything for the spring. They market it. Throw a cucumber, give it a little crunch in there.
You didn't kill the skin on?
You can. I was saving time with that. Usually I would peel like a couple sides of it.
And you didn't seed it?
No, the seeds don't really, they give you the gas, so that's why they.
Good for me.
See? Man's club, right?
You got it.
Okay. Throw some tomatoes in. And if you want to finish the dish, you throw some cashews, some almonds, some kind of peanuts, very few. And then throw a couple of the Chinese noodles on top just to give it that color and crispiness if you don't like that. Okay, so that's one. Meanwhile, Joe, where'd you go? All right. Put together the ratatouille. It's real easy. It has such a nice flavor. Everything meshes together. How's that look? All this is basically the idea I got from a recipe was called a 1,000-layer eggplant. And it's basically a summer dish with the eggplant's plentiful, and it's just layers of eggplant, pancetta, and bacons and all that stuff. But I cut all that out to make it a vegetarian version. The other thing I do with this is just a vegetable dish that I'm doing tonight. Usually, if I do catering or whatever, what I'll do is I'll cheat and make it into a vegetable lasagna without the ricotta. I put sheets. Pretty good.
Osama bin Laden struck back.
Yes, you there. Who was I? All right, we're up to the vegetable lasagna. Hope you got that on film. Tomorrow morning, if you all want, you want to come to my store, Neiman Marcus. Their materials.
Shawn, I think Nordstrom did that for you.
See that?
Nordstrom's did.
Well, when I do catering or whatever, instead of doing a plain vegetable lasagna like most people would do the basic lasagna and then just throw vegetables into it, what I do is make a casserole like this. I put my eggplant on the bottom, then I put a couple sheets of the pasta, little sauce, and then so it's a real chunky lasagna rather than, like a lot of times you'll just get bits and pieces of carrot, broccoli, onions, blah, blah, blah. So this is a little more hearty, and you get a lot of the vegetable flavor. Rather than killing everybody with pasta, you'll have a lot of vegetables with it. So all you do is you have fun with this, is you line your sides, the eggplant, because that gives it a nice...
Use the orange rolls.
How's that?
My foreman.
Yes, that's clear.
All right. Anyway. Okay. Wasn't mine though, so I couldn't. So everyone, the reason we use the eggplant on the bottom and on the sides because it's tough. You know, some people don't like eggplant. I never did until I tried this dish, and I'm like, yeah, it's pretty good. So once you have that done, then I put my secret seasoning, which I didn't put on the paper, which is ground coriander. So I don't know if everybody can get that. Coriander. Alright, so the secret of this is,
Oh, you're really gonna do good here.
it has an orange, yeah, it has an orange flavor, the coriander. And that's a seed from the cilantro. So that's ground up. It's you can't get it in your Indian stores. McCormick does have it, but it has a nice little orange flavor to it. So we dust that. That's one of those flavors where you'll try and it's like, what is that? That's the secret one. So you cannot leave this room without it. Yeah, it's not strong. Now, all right. Then you get your zucchini. Lay that on the bottom. Alright, so you lay your zucchini on next. Then again, you salt, pepper, a little garlic, just to extra season it with a little coriander. And we go over to our sauteed onions and peppers. We lay that in. So now you're saying, what's going to hold together when I cut it? And I say, you. She's not here.
On the way.
So, you get some mozzarella cheese. All right. That's the binding block of all time. Put some mozz on that. You can use provolone, you can use a smoked cheese. Mozzarella just gets the nice stringy flavor.
Never low fat or skim.
Well, it's like this. We use low fat. We have a mushroom towel that we have in Neiman Market, which is a portobello mushroom, eggplant, zucchini, all the ingredients that you have here. And then we put low fat Swiss cheese on it. It looks all right. Now, there's no string to it. It's like, you know, I guess stringy paper maybe, but I mean, I don't like using that personally, but for the weight conscious and polyung. Yeah. No, that's it. Thank you very much. Yeah, that's the last time he's eating, bro. Alright. So then you do another layer of the zucchini, you push it down a little, that'll set it up a little. Then you have the roasted peppers. You can't do them yourself, but it's a lot easier. Just putting them in. Alright, roasted peppers, roasted eggplant. After you use your little coriander, just to give it a little more flavor. I should call George and tell him, hey George. Well, the roasted peppers, to save time, since it isn't a real kitchen, these are raw. You want to get, I use Nina's roasted peppers. I think they're a lot better than Mancini's, which everybody has Mancini's. But I find that the Mancini's, the pepper's not as thick. They're a little more papery, and they break apart, and you usually get a lot of pieces. So I go with the Nina peppers. Yeah, they're hard to, I mean, I get them from my purveyor. You might be able to, probably Gennardi's or something like that. Yeah, they're everywhere. Yeah. All right. So then you do that, you do one more light layer of mozzarella. And then, this is the secret part here. Whatever vegetables you have left, you finish the top of them. I got zucchini. Got some eggplant. And that's it. Right? So it's done. Where'd you go? Not yet. The chicken. No. Well, I was going to pound the chicken, but I break the game. So, what we're going to do is we'll be cooking the chicken next. I'll be putting this back to cook. And when this is cooking, we'll do the chicken. Well, we have one to show you already done.
That's it?
Usually I season the chicken with a little salt, pepper. No, this is just an add. Usually you sell without. You put scallops, you put shrimp, or you put anything you want. Yeah. Chicken on the other. Notice it's cooked. What's that? Yeah, just ground coriander. Yeah. So what I'm going to do next is the tomato basil broth. Since we don't have a stove out here, I'll just explain it to you. I'll have my assistant John saute the ingredients up. All is grape tomatoes, cut in half professionally. You'll notice each one is the same size. Again, I use the little salt, pepper, garlic in that. I chop the basil, put that in there. I use a little bit of garlic. I have here. Not much. Again, this is a light sauce also. Light garlic. And then you use, it depends, it's like 1 tablespoon of olive oil per person. So this is basically for 6. So I'm using 6 tablespoons of olive oil with that. That's all. And then you get your juice basically from the tomatoes. That's where you're getting your flavor. Just to like stretch it out a little, I use a little vegetable broth. You use canned broth, make your own, and you have 3 or 4 or 5 hours to do that. It makes a great soup though afterwards. Put your vegetable broth in just to stretch it at the very end. That just gives it so it's, because you'll have the juices of all the vegetables running together, and with all the vegetables and the garlic and the tomato, it's like getting a tomato sauce, but it's real, real light. So you'll be wanting to, get your Italian bread or whatever and soak up the sauce. But it is a low-cal dish. So with that, we're going to take a little break before we get to the next one. Compliments of Neiman Marcus. We have a couple of gift bags over there. Also, you'll see complimentary beverage cards. It works like you buy an entree at the Zodiac restaurant, you buy your drink. But we don't have a liquor license, so we just buy your drink. Hot water, cold water, cold water.
Marcia, you want to finish?
Yes. So if you want to help yourself to one of the bags or manly bags, which we have a little Tracy Ellen photo album.
Also coffee and cake.
Right. Then we'll finish up with the other ones. There are also cards of associates over there if you're interested in any of the cosmetics, everything. So the pie itself. I did pre-make a couple pies just so you can see them. The recipe is basically the dough is made in the Cuisinart. That's how easy it is. It's just the 4 cups of flour.
Can you do it with a shell? Like, short step back?
What was that?
Do it with a shell?
Would you want pre-bought shell?
Pre-bought shell?
No, I wouldn't work with that, but no, that's a pain. The way I did these, you go out and you buy the little 4 or 5 inch mini pie tins, things that you might see a chicken pot pie in. That's the size tin you want to use. And basically the whole recipe is, like I said, it's just in here. Put your flour, your butter, your salt, your sugar.
What kind of vegetables are in these?
Crisco. Only name brands here, that's all. And basically you're doing when it says the 1/3 to a half a cup of ice water, do it in tablespoons at a time until you get the right consistency for your dough. And that consistency, I was going to make it tonight, as you can see, if anybody wants a piece of butter. Or some Crisco, we have Crisco. And we have a dough and a rolling pin. So, I was really going to do this tonight. But what they say is with the dough, as I said, it comes out after once you put it in here, you put everything together, dump it out, and then you can hand knead it until it gets to this consistency. It's a light dough. Nice roll, nice and thin. I don't know if you know those little tricks where basically you roll out your dough. No flour. But anyway, so when you have it rolled here, put your rolling pin here and roll the dough on top of your pin like that. Put your pie plate down, and then you can just unroll your dough on top of your pie plate. So that way it doesn't stick. So I don't know if you've ever seen somebody try to pick up dough and it's like it's this, and oh, I got 2 pieces now, and all that. So that's all you have to do. After you make the dough, you put it in the little tart shells. Then you add half a cup of fresh fruit, tablespoon of sugar, tablespoon of butter, or less, anyone you want to make happy. And then you can use any fruit you want. And then basically fill it with the spices. Like say I was going to do apple tonight, I was going to use a little cinnamon, a little nutmeg. Put that together. Get an egg, a little cream, 1 egg yolk, about like an ounce, 2 ounces of cream. Put that together so it's like a yellow cream look. And then basically pastry brush it around the edges. So once you did all that, you get this cute little pie, which is, it's nice and hot and warm. I like to do these in the summer more. Basically, it just comes out like this, and instead of going out, it's reasonable. It's not expensive at all. Tins are probably more expensive, so I just save these as I go. You can do that. If you want to be creative, I'll give you another one of our Neiman Marcus secrets. We have a pie called a upside down apple pie. And what you can do before you put the dough in, you get caramel, spray with a can, put caramel syrup in the bottom, ice cream syrup, some crushed pecans, then put the dough in, then put the apples in. And then this is the part that it's fun. you freeze it. After you cook it, it's all done, freeze it. So when you're ready to use it, pop it out. Well, you turn it upside down like this, and then you have an upside down caramel